Cingari here with Michael from Team Fighting Championship. Michael, how are you today? And welcome to the show.
Susan, thanks a lot. I'm fine. Thanks a lot.
Michael, you have quite a unique MMA concept over there. How did you come up with this idea?
The idea was brought to us 10 years ago, but we were always talking about this in theory. But 2 years ago, we decided with a group of guys that why not to do it. And so we spent last 2 years on inventing this event, and now you can see the first results.
What are the rules and how is the championship score then?
We are using the rules very close to the unified MMA rules, and the scoring is quite simple. The team wins which has at least one man standing when the fight ends.
Now, this appears to be a new concept as far as I know. Was it difficult to locate groups of men to participate, or were you able to find teams that were readily available to compete in the championship?
It was hard, but it wasn't that hard because group fighting is not there in Europe. There are old traditions coming back to the 15th century, I would say. And so it took us something like 3 months to find the teams. And we gathered them. It wasn't, we were just bringing the teams who knew already each other and were ready to fight together.
What was the selection process then? How many teams did you have to narrow down to start the championship with? Because you started with what, 5 teams to start with?
Yeah, the first time we started with 5 teams. We were looking for 6 to make it 2 groups with the final, but we didn't manage to find the 6th team. So that's why we started with the 5. We had the teams from Sweden, Ukraine, Russia, Poland, and Czech Republic. And that's it.
Are there any age requirements for the MMA fighters to be participating in the team championship event then?
Yeah, sure. All the participants should be of legal age.
And then take me through this particular season, because you started with 5 teams and then you ended up with 1 winner. So take me through how the championship progressed, if you could, please.
Okay, yes. So we had, as I've told, we had 5 teams. They were the team from Poznan, Poland, from Moscow, Russia, from Gothenburg, Sweden, from Nikolaev, Ukraine, and from Prague, Czech Republic. We had a draw, so each team had to have 2 fights, and afterwards the team with the best results was advancing to the finals. We had 5 fights in the group, so the first fight was Poznan, Poland against Gothenburg, Sweden. Second fight was Moscow, Russia against Prague, Czech Republic. Third fight was Poznan, Poland against team from Mykolaiv, Ukraine. Fourth fight was team from Moscow, Russia against team from Gothenburg, Sweden. And the fight number 5 was team from Mykolaiv, Ukraine against Prague, Czech Republic. The final fight was between Poznan, Poland and Moscow, Russia, where Poznan won. So the Polish guys were the first champions of our TFC event number 1.
And congratulations to Team Poland. I saw the fight and it looked amazing. Will you be having this Team Poland come back next year as part of the competition, or will you be starting with all new teams for Team Fighting Championship?
Yes, for our TFC event 2, we have a new list of teams. But we hope that someday after, I don't know, maybe in a year, we'll have some tournament with the teams who were winning our previous events.
Now, speaking of TFC2, I understand you have a USA team on the list this year. Let's talk a little bit about how they did and where they are within the competition right now.
Yeah, that was great. We had a team from Global Proving Grounds, New York City, USA. It was great to welcome them to our event. I was a bit worried about their experience, but that was fun because even the guys were not prepared for this kind of group fighting. They lost their first match, but they won the second, and finally they finished 3rd in the event, which is good, and I really congratulate them.
That's wonderful. I like to hear that. Team USA, woohoo! Following up, do you plan on taking the tournament to the United States at all? And if so, when can we see it here?
We'll see. We don't have the immediate plans to move to US, but we cannot say that we are not thinking of US, or maybe, I don't know, next year or in 2 years, but we see that we can move to US.
And what about the thought about having women participate at all in the team event? Because it's so popular, women's MMA is becoming so popular across the world. Is that on your list at all coming up?
We have a lot of options, but right now we're focused more on doing the things we're doing right now in the best possible way. So as soon as we'll do our events and everyone will be satisfied, probably afterwards we can think about expansion into, for example, female audience and so on.
And speaking of females, you have a lovely female announcer. Was there any particular reason why, which I like, I think she's wonderful. Was there any particular reason why you chose a female announcer over a male announcer?
We like when things are beautiful, and I think that Svetlana, who was our announcer, was beautiful and she was speaking good and she understands. So that was really great choice, and that's why we also invited her to our second event.
Wonderful. How has the response been to Team Fighting Championship? It looks like your numbers are very, very large on YouTube and on Facebook.
Yeah, the numbers are good, and what we're really proud of is that I would say 85% of the audience, for example, in on YouTube, is putting likes, which is good, which is from terms of classical marketing is really good and so on. Of course, there are a lot of questions because, for example, the US audience is not used to the group fighting. They haven't seen anything like that. So there are questions about the rules, about the potential injuries. But the total feedback, once again, is good. And I can say that everyone who participated in our events is 100% positive and asking to bring them back for their future events.
There are some critics that might say the sport is too dangerous. What is your response to them?
We can say that on our first event we had, after 6 fights, so totally 6 teams of five people were fighting, we had 4 concussions and 2 broken noses. On our second event, we had just 2 broken hands, which I cannot say that it's really dangerous. And the safety of the participants is our top priority, so we're paying a lot of attention to that. So I hope that we'll stay on this low level of injuries. So I can say that I would disagree that our events are dangerous.
Let's talk a little bit about the safety issue, because I noticed that you have quite a number of refs inside the ring, so to speak. And that seems to be something that you've done to help the fighters, right?
Exactly. Yeah, we have the same so we have two teams of 5 fighters in each. And that's why we've chosen that we need the 5 referees. Because when you're having the group fighting, all the things are happening very fast, so we need the professional judges to be on each pair. So that's why in this case we're having the 5 pairs with ref on each. And the refs are probably the best professionals we could meet. And probably that's the biggest reason why we do not have a lot of injuries.
Since you are a fan of MMA, who is your favorite fighter then, Michael?
I would say Mike Tyson.
Why is that, sir?
Because I always liked his dedication and his wish to go further, and his history is really impressive, I would say.
If you could put together any team of 5 fighters on the Team Fighting Championship, any MMA fighters, are there any particular fighters that come to mind that you would like to have on the team going further down the road?
I would say that I would like to have Mike Tyson somewhere on my side, but about all the others I need to think over.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to add today, Michael?
I would like to thank you very much for this great opportunity to talk to you, and it was a pleasure.
And finally, Michael, before we go, tell us where we can see Team Fighting Championship, please.
You can find our videos on teamsfight.com or our YouTube channel, YouTube/TeamsFight. And probably we will launch our own channel somewhere in the US later this year, but you can find us on Facebook with the news.
Michael, thank you so much. I wish you good luck at Team Fighting Championship, and I look forward to seeing your next event.
Thank you very much, Susan. Hope to see you Sunday. Thanks a lot.
Pomůž tu, Dugi, pomůž ty, pomůž.